Hi, Kristen Solomon, court liaison and advocate for Right Turn Impact. Today I'm with the law office of the Killian Law Group in Owings Mills, Maryland. I'm meeting with attorney Oleg Fastovsky, criminal defense attorney, and today we're going to learn more about him and his practice and why they trust Right Turn for their clients. Let's go talk with them.
Hi, I'm from the Killian Law Group.
Hi, thank you so much. I've been appointed with Mr. Fastovsky.
Hi, Kristen. Oleg's waiting for you. Follow me.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Right in here.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hi, how are you? Thank you
you?
so much for seeing me today.
Well, my name's Oleg Fastovsky. I've been practicing in criminal defense for about 17 years. And what drew me to this area of law was the desire to help people. But not only that, is that I frequently get asked, why do you help individuals who are criminals? And immediately that's a loaded question because criminal is such a label. Most individuals that come to me are good people that have found themselves in a difficult position, have made a bad choice, and just need help. Everyone at some point in time needs help or knows somebody that does. 20 years ago, when I started out, I remember seeing a young man get 30 days in jail for getting caught with a little bit of marijuana. And aside from personal beliefs or opinions about marijuana, I realized there's something wrong with that. There was also a different type of approach and thought and belief. Individuals who used or drank, they were seen as individuals with problems. They made bad choices and they needed to be punished. Thankfully, over the past 20 years, there's been a shift and change. Individuals are seen as humans. They need help. Sometimes it's making better choices. Other times they lead to drugs or alcohol or bad choices because of trauma or difficulty, or they have the weight of the world on their shoulders. And they oftentimes, again, not are criminals, but individuals that need help. And so whether it's the individual who makes a first-time mistake, whether they're down their luck and they drink too much and get into a fight, or they have a domestic incident, or they have a lifelong problem, or they have family history that leads them to use or abuse, they also need help. They need to be treated as human beings and with respect and dignity, which frequently is lost upon them by others in the public, oftentimes by courts, and certainly by prosecutors who are there to put punishment as opposed to see them as human beings and give them help. So when someone comes to me, they're lost oftentimes. They need a direction, they need purpose, they need some kind of guidance and to be treated with humanity. And very frequently others out there don't do that. I found that I know myself individuals who are good people that need help, that need to be treated with respect and given guidance and given a second chance. So frequently it's to be given that kind of consideration and that ability to see past the action and see the person behind it that has led me to be able to do what I've done for as many years and keep me motivated to help these individuals. So in today's mindset, fortunately, judges have come around, and prosecutors too have been more amenable, malleable towards seeing the help that individuals need as opposed to just a punishment that needs to be exacted. And so what I do out there is I look at every individual, whether it's drugs, alcohol, you name it, or a combination of both. And there are various individuals. There are the social drinkers that maybe had a little bit too many one night, but don't drink very often. And on the opposite extreme, you have individuals who have family history that need alcohol and are dependent upon alcohol and drugs, or both, to just live their daily lives. And they need more direction. They need more purpose. There are a multitude of alcohol and drug providers and practitioners out there that provide guidance and help and treatment. Not all are the same. There are your online, just generic things you can find that really don't do much than give you a printed piece of paper you purchase, and they really have no lasting effect. And then there are other organizations. I personally have referred more clients than I can count to Right Turn Impact for a variety of reasons. There are other organizations out there, to be sure, and there's plenty out there that do great service and great work. But one of the reasons I come back is because their program is unique. When an individual is before the court and a prosecutor is considering what to offer, what to recommend, it's important to hear from the organization itself. And although most do provide some printed material and some verifications or certificates, Right Turn sends liaisons to court if requested to speak on the person's behalf, which is very monumental as it shows a reality to what they've done and a significance and legitimacy. Aside from the fact that most courts are already familiar with Right Turn Impact, it is helpful to have an individual from the organization there to speak on their behalf. They also have inpatient programs, both of course the longer version, but they also have a weekend intervention program. That is fairly uncommon. Most organizations out there have no such thing. This is helpful for a number of reasons. Whereas even the most mundane basic first offense DUI, for example, they can do a 12-hour class. Most classes are 1 or 2 hours a week for a period of several weeks. Of course, it's educational, it's helpful. And even the longer term ones, 26 weeks, 26 hours, also helpful. The difference is, in those situations, a person can go to the programs, do their couple hours, and go straight back to drinking, straight back to using, straight back to whatever they're doing, and there's no way of verifying that they're not living that lifestyle. The hope is they're taking the treatment to heart, but it's not always the case. The weekend intervention program is different because it's immersion, where you're confined and surrounded by individuals who are there for a therapeutic purpose to help. And whereas a person you can't ignore that. For 48 hours, you don't have a cell phone, you can't go out, you're there committed to that. And the reason that's beneficial is because it's more comprehensive. And I cannot count the number of times I've seen a situation because whether it's a subsequent offense or let's say the facts are bad on the first offense DUI, where a prosecutor is asking for incarceration, for jail for the individual, and a judge is considering it. And the words I hear out of their mouths are, I was going to put you in jail, but I will count the weekend at Right Turn for that credit, for that benefit that you gained out of it, for that commitment to treatment and sobriety. I will not put you in jail today. So there's no underscoring the significance of that. It also gives credence to the level of care and commitment to treatment that they have and the practitioners there and the individuals there that run that organization. In all my years of practice, I exclusively do criminal defense, is what I've done. And that ranges from minor traffic cases to murder cases. I've done everything in between. One prevailing theme behind so much of this is substance abuse, alcohol, and drugs. And yes, of course, you have your alcohol driving offenses. You have your drug possession, your felony drug charges. But then you have your thefts. You have your assaults. You have hit and runs. And although those aren't drugs or alcohol, underlying all those is drugs and alcohol. The person that was in an accident because they were impaired by drugs or alcohol and then ran because they were afraid of getting arrested. The person who's charged domestic violence when in reality, it's alcohol, drugs. You have the individuals who commit thefts, but they're stealing to support a drug or alcohol addiction or abuse. And so many other varieties, fraud, theft from the employer, any variety of charges out there. Very frequently, the prevailing theme or underscoring all that is drugs or alcohol. And the shift to understanding that you can't punish away an addiction. You can't threaten drug use or alcohol use. Yes, punishment will stop it temporarily. The person will go to jail and then come out, okay, I don't want to go back there. But eventually that addiction is going to overwhelm the fear of jail. Eventually they're going to think, well, maybe just once or maybe just twice. And it's a spiral. And before you know it, they've forgotten all about the jail, and the thing overwhelming the person is the drugs or alcohol. So treating that will take away the bad driving. Treating that will take away the stealing, because if you don't have the habit to support, you don't have to still support that. So punishing the theft, punishing the violence is not going to help unless you treat the underlying issue that's creating that dilemma, that's creating that behavior, and that is only through treatment.